What's up guys, Shane here, Fugatech 3D Printing. Got some mail, have some things to talk about, let's get to it. Welcome back guys. So I didn't do a vlog last week, I didn't really have enough to go on. I've been doing a ton of printing, a ton of editing, and it's just been really busy and I didn't feel that I had enough content just to do a vlog last week. Plus I didn't really get any mail in, nothing came in. Nothing new developments aside from the normal just printing. So this week that is definitely not the case. There's a lot to cover, so I have my little list here and we're going to go over some things. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the way I name these vlogs. Right now I just name it, Fugatech 3D Printing Vlog, number, blah. And somebody brought up a pretty good idea is that it's fine to have my thumbnail to be that, but the actual video name, I should name it what content I cover. So this one is going to be one of the first ones that I do that. I kind of want to get what people's feelings are on that, aside from the few people that have expressed that to me. And if that's the case, I'm going to go back and edit all of the names to my vlogs to be, whatever that content is, I'm going to have it. And the vlog number is still going to be in there. It'll probably be like just the number, vlog number, and then I'll put a couple topics that I talk about in there. But again, I want to see what you guys think about that. Since I have been told by many people that actually refer back to certain vlogs for info that I cover. Like for instance, like one of them I covered the reverse Bowden for the FT-5. I talk about different things in different vlogs. So let me know what you guys think about that and we'll go from there. Okay, mail, let's get to it. So last week I did receive this. This is Glitter Flake from Protopasta. I bought this myself through the Maker Box. They had a really good price on this. I don't even think it was $30 for a 750 gram, or is this a 500 gram roll? I don't remember. 500 gram roll, that's right here on the back. So roughly 180 meters of filament, which is great to know. I really dislike Protopasta's cardboard spool holders. It is, double layer cardboard, so if you look at like a cardboard box, you see how many layers it has in it. This is 2-layer. I don't know, this is my first real roll, a full roll of Protopasta. It just doesn't seem like it's going to hold up for me. But, they still use it, so obviously it does well. Anyways, I wanted to buy this because if they do come out with a different glitter flake for next year for Christmas, I wanted to have a full roll of silver in order to do some prints. And it just came out so fantastically from the Maker Box, I had to pick a roll up. So this will be really fun to print with, and this will be later in the year that I actually end up using this. Speaking of the Maker Box, I got in the new January box, which is great. It actually took a while to get to me. This time, I guess my mail is a little slower than normal, but it's already into February. I normally get this at the end of the month, and then it takes me a week or so to print it. So this will be one of my next priorities to get this done. I try to do these as soon as I get them, but I'm real excited. I love the Maker Box. If you guys don't get it, you should, and you should use my code down below. You get 15% off your first box. So Maker Box is a lot of fun for me. It can be for you too, so you might want to check it out. Continuing on the filament tour, we have a box here from Toner Plastics, and this is their brand new Pearl PLA. Now I'm not going to open it yet because I don't even know what color it is. I believe it's like a white pearl, but I don't even want it to touch it. It feels really heavy though. It says it's a kilogram, it's 2.2 pounds, but it almost feels like they ended up measuring it and then putting it on the spool, or they took into account, they subtracted the amount of the spool from it, and you actually have like 2.5 pounds total in this box, simply because the spool weighs so much as well. It's about 200 to 300 grams. So this is going to be awesome. So thank you, Toner Plastics, for sending this to me. They actually reached out to me, so we're making it there, guys. They reached out to me, said, hey, we liked your other reviews you did. How about testing out this new one? So a review on this will be coming up. It's going to get added down here to my queue, and we'll see how it turns out. Finally, some more filament. This is enabled filament. This was on Woot the other day, probably about 2 weeks ago, and they were not even $10 a roll, and I can't really pass up $10 a roll for filament, and they're all PLA. I have blue, and green. I could have swore I bought 3 different colors. I'll have to look that up in my Woot order. So this came actually directly from Amazon, since Woot now is owned by Amazon. Woot.com, sorry, if you guys aren't familiar with Woot.com, they do daily deals, they do weekly deals. deals until it's sold out. So I'll put a link to them down below. It's a great website. I've been doing it since what, 2006, 2007. I don't buy a lot, but when I see something, it's really good. It's really good prices. Some stuff is brand new. A lot of the stuff is factory refurbished, not seller refurbished, so it's coming directly from the factory at a huge discount. My laptop right here, not this one, sorry, my other one upstairs, 17-inch Dell, $350. I mean, could not bat an eye at that. Had 8 gigs of RAM in it. It came with a regular 1 terabyte drive, but I took that out and put a 512 SSD in it, put 16 gigs of RAM in it, and it's running like a champ. So that's my real thin laptop I like to travel with. But anyways, this enabled came from there. Rumor has it, I haven't been able to confirm yet, that enabled filament is just rebranded Hatchbox. And judging by the rolls that I saw online, it looked like it. So I'm going to do a review on this enabled filament, and eventually, again, it's going to go down here to the queue. But I'm excited to have, you know, some more filament to print with, some more big prints to print with, and I got to show you this green, because this green actually is pretty. It's pretty neon. I mean, you can tell that there. It's pretty crazy. So that will be coming up later. All right, something I finally got in the mail are these little practice golf balls. And they're just real squishy, and they're made for indoor practice, so if you want to practice your swing indoors, you can. But somebody had made a file, which was this little foot for the FT-5. It fits right over top of one of these suckers. It has 2 mounting holes. These ones are for M3 or M4. I think these are M4. They mount right to the T-slot on the bottom of the FT-5, and it will squish this down onto it, and this will significantly reduce the vibration in the FT-5. Not in the FT-5, I should say. This significantly reduces the vibration of the unit overall, because I have the FT-5 here. Where is it? Right here. Then I have the G-Tech. Then I have the Delta behind me, and I have my MP Select Mini down here below. So when the FT-5 is rolling, it is shaking the house. And my desk here is 8-foot and 8-foot tables bolted together. They are super heavy duty with 2x4s. They are very, very heavy tables, and it's shaking those. So I know this thing is rattling and rolling a lot, especially when I do high prints with a lot of infill, or just it's a large print, small area, infill is going back and forth really, really, really quick. There's a lot of vibration going on, a lot of shaking. So I'm hoping that these will really, really help with that. And on top of adding these, I am still waiting for my vibration dampeners for the NEMA 17 motors to come in. The seller hit me up on eBay and said, hey, I'm sorry, we just ran out. Do you mind waiting? I said, no, I'm not really a care. It was a good price. It was like $10 for 5, so like $2 a piece. Actually, one of the best deals out there I could find. I said, no, you know, it was a good price. I don't mind waiting. So they did get shipped last week, so another 2 or 3 weeks they should be here roughly. So again, I'm not in a big rush, and I'm really hoping to add these. I eventually want to do a video, I think, just on how to make the FT-5 as quiet as you can. So with between the enclosure, feet like this, other dampener feet you have, putting the vibration dampeners on the NEMA 17 motors, possibly adding the TMC 100s, I think they were called. Don't quote me on that. I've only started reading about them, but they can do like the silent chop or silent, different silent type of operation, and it's supposed to greatly reduce the noise your motors make. So if they prove successful, that would be cool, but that will be coming up later, and these I'm going to install soon, just try them out and see how they turn out. I've been saying for a long time that I really need another GoPro, but I just can't afford one, you know. Patreon is helping, but not that much. So I picked up this $20 sports cam that's supposed to be like a GoPro. The reviews on it are amazing, surprisingly. This is the SJ. Yeah, this is one of the SJ cameras. It's just a sports camera. It's super duper not descript at all. But anyways, I just wanted this because it uses the same GoPro mount, and I have a ton of GoPro accessories for all of my printers. I have mounts for all of them. I don't want to have to keep moving different mounts around. So I picked this up in order to be able to do more time lapses at once. Instead of having to take so long with all the different printers I have going, I can do multiple filaments at a time now. And even if I just want to film more content to have time lapses, I can do that now. So not sure if I want to do anything like an unboxing or, I don't know, review about this, because it is super popular, but anyways, I'm just gonna get going to it and we'll see how it turns out. But I'm excited to be able to do more videoing at the same time. So that's great if this actually works out. It was $20. So a link will be down below if you guys want to check it out. But I figure for $20, if it fails, so what? So since my last vlog, I received the new power supply for the G-Tech, and you can't really tell here, but it is mounted on there. It is working perfectly now. So I power it on, printer pops right up like it should. The old one is in the trash, out to bed, out to pasture, gone because it's annoying. And it's G-Tech's been printing great, so that was just a little quick update on that one. Behind me is the D-Force Mini. It now works. I filmed a part 3 that's going to be coming out soon, one of these days when it's uploaded. I just have to do all the video description, all that stuff. I got it working great. It took me a terribly long time to finally figure out how I was going to work on it. I tried doing auto bed leveling, which is horrendous, and the stock effector you can't do it with, period. There's nothing you can do with that. With the stock effector, there's also no print cooling fan. So I wanted to print out different effectors to succeed in that. And I printed this one out, and it connects to the 3 here. You have 3 fans that hook onto it. So this one right here blows directly onto the heatsink of the extruder, of the, I guess the heat break of the nozzle, I will call it. And then on the other 2 sides, they are fans that blow in and it will shoot straight down. And there's another little part underneath I have to print for this one. This is actually a reprint. A little fan shroud nozzles that go on the bottom, and they will direct it straight onto the hot end. And they actually do a really good job. I have it behind me. Where's it at? You can't see it. There's one back there I printed in the Make Your Geeks blue, but I wasn't really happy with the turnout of it, and it looks fugly. It really does. This one looks much, much better in the orange, and I want to print all the other parts for the D-Force Mini in this orange. It's a really, really high tolerance here, so I'll put a link to this file down below if you guys have a Delta that doesn't have any, print cooling fan on it. You just have to be wary at how far apart each of the arms sit. This one is at, I'm trying to remember, 41 millimeters, and my Delta, the arms need to be 45 millimeters apart. So the easy thing to do is to print out some little spacers. So on the original one that I was testing out, I did print out 2 millimeter spacers, one for each side, and that worked like a charm. No issues once those were on there. So this will be going on there soon. I have more calibration to do. Figured I would show you guys a really, really bad benchy. It is under extruding, so I need to fix my E-steps. I thought I had them done properly. Apparently I didn't. Also, it is stringy as all hell. As you can see into there, super duper stringy. Hard to tell, and yeah, under extrusion and stringiness. So I do have more calibration to do on it. Calibrating a Delta is tough in order to get the flatness of the bed, but I did find a video, and I definitely need to tout that thing down below. This dude's video was amazing. He went through step by step through Marlin on how to set up the Delta. He shows you an easy, quick way to make it so it prints on a flat surface, because it can either be concave or convex on the initial startup until you do, but you could do offsets, you could do your end stops, you could adjust those, or you could just adjust one simple thing, and it blew my mind when I finally got that. I was like, oh my god, it's flat all the way across, I can print now. But again, going back to the auto bed leveling on a Delta, I had a ton of issues trying to get that to work. I printed out so the effector that's on there right now is a spring loaded. So there are 3 springs that hold in the nozzle, and when it pushes down onto the print bed, the nozzle touches and the arms go down, but the springs allow the nozzle to come up, and then there's a screw on it that hits an end stop. You're just using a regular old end stop, the cheap $1.50 ones, whatever those are, and it would actuate, and then bam, that's that. But the problem is that those 3 points, it doesn't uniformly push all 3 at the same time. It's always on a little bit of an angle, so one might push a little bit more than another, so you get really, really inaccurate measurements. Another one that a guy in the Delta group had suggested to me is one that just actually pushes right on to the tip of your nozzle, has the end stop on there, and you would just auto probe, take it off, then heat up and do your print. That worked out well, but when I went to print, it just didn't, like the Z-axis never went up. I don't know what the issue was. And I was using Repetier on the printer. I'm now using Marlin. I'm using the Marlin that Triangle Lab sent me, but I had to do major modifications to it in order to get it to run properly. So now that that is somewhat working, I just need to do the fine tuning and get this thing working well. Then I can do like a calibration video on what I had to do to get it working, and then eventually I'll do a final review. So the D-Force Mini is printing again, but we need to fix it, so we're gonna work on that. So right now you can see up here how I have the spool mounted. It's blurry, you know, it's bulking, but you can see how I have the spool mounted on the side, and it will slowly turn it and pull it down into the Bowden setup. And that's good and all, but I wanted something that I feel like it's pulling too much, and because it is a knockoff Titan extruder, I really don't want to have any issues with that, it trying to pull. I know my extruder can do it. I have no worries about that at all on the legit one on the FT-5. But this knockoff one, I'm not too sure. So I needed to find a better spool holder, and there was one out there that is a top mount. It was originally, someone made it for the FT-5, but they made it for Fugatech printer, so the FT-5 or their Costal 2020. But regardless, they're all 2020 extrusion, so it's fine, it'll work. But I found this one. So you have the bolt, you have the nut, goes on there really nice and easy, spins really well. So diameter here is like 30 millimeters, so as long as your spool is not that small, you'll be fine, which I don't think any of mine are, so I'm not worried about it. But that's great. Down here at the bottom is a 608 ZZ bearing, and there's two different ways you can mount this. So I only print out the one, but this is the square bracket, so it takes two. You can use M5 T-nuts to mount this to the top. There's also a corner one if you're using it on the FT-5. But this just mounts the 2020 extrusion, and there's two different holders you can have. You can have just this one, which sits on there nice and easy, and that just spins super, super easy like that. Or there's this little setup here that can go on there, so it would go on there like that. And this is an anti-backlash arm, because apparently that was an issue. Well, I've had that be an issue before when using bearings on filament spools. So this spins again real nice and easy. It just mounts on there like that. And this will ensure that when the retraction happens, or any moving up and down all around of the extruder nozzle, or the head, it's going to be the effector and the delta, that it doesn't push the filament back so much it unspools and then falls down, and then you get a big tangled mess, and then life's really, really sucking at that point. So this is going to eventually go on to that printer after I do the review of this filament. The other thing is here, a little bit of drooping in this one, but this is the filament guide. So these will just go like here and here. The filament will come out, go through, and then go down. Or I might put it like so on the side of the printer. So this will sit on top, this will sit beside it, and it'll go down that way, just to help guide it a little bit. Or hell, I could print out a couple of these and put them all the way down the printer. Who knows? But I really like this design. I hope it works out. And if it does, it'll be a successful day. So if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, or have seen what I post in the groups, I've been working on a new project. So right now, I have two umbrella lights right here. And I'm hoping that I have my color better in this video. I noticed in the previous video my color was off, so I'm hoping that I have my white balance properly in recording. I hate doing post-production fixes because I'm horrible at it. I'd rather do everything in the camera that you can. So I'm hoping lighting looks okay right now, but it's not great. It's better. So I needed a solution. So I was looking on Amazon at the different LED light stands because they're smaller. These umbrellas are huge. I mean, they go up 3 feet. They're really, really big. I wanted something smaller and more effective, so I wanted an LED panel. But they're expensive, and I'm using the, when you guys are using the fill inks, I'm using that to buy other things for 3D printing, not necessarily for my production, which I really should soon, and I probably will, but I'm trying to do a little more DIY stuff. So I went ahead and came up with this light panel. And, I think my light changed there or something, probably because that's white in there. Yeah, see, and this camera is auto adjusting on me right now, so I'm not a fan of that. But anyways, inside of here there are 210 LEDs which is really, really cool. And it's a lot. A lot of the ones I was looking at online are 600 LEDs. And these are just some strips I had sitting around. And when we plug it in, this is gonna be bright. Woo. There it is. Ah! But that is, I mean, look at the whole thing blacks out. That's crazy. That is bright. But it actually is not that bad. Take this out now. Normalize. There we go. It's actually not that bad when it's 3 feet back behind the camera. It actually looks really, really good just with one of them. So I'm going to be doing more of these. But this first one was kind of me toying around, trying to figure it out. It's a piece of steel that I had sitting around, and I have several more plates of it. So I just made the LEDs to fit that. I had a piece of 1/4" acrylic, clear acrylic, which is what this top piece is here. I went ahead and took my palm sander, sanded the whole thing down like crazy. It still didn't diffuse it enough, so I went to my wife's kitchen. I stole a piece of parchment paper, cut it out, and just taped it on there, and that diffused the light much, much better for no cost at all. So I don't remember what the total cost of this would probably be, but not very much. Last thing to show you on the back of here, this is my 3D printed mount, which mounts onto just a little tripod stand. Oh, I shouldn't say tripod stand, but a light stand, and it just slides right onto it, clamps down, and then this just slides right on top of one of my light stands. So this was a very, very fun project for me. I learned a lot from doing it. I'm going to do a build on how to do this if you guys are into YouTube, or just for general the YouTube audience. I'd put a feeler out there to see if I should do it in different channel, make another channel, but it was like, no, 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 keep it in one channel, make it life easy. So it's gonna go on this channel, and I have more parts on order so that I can do this and actually show you how much it costs, how easy it is to do, and you really need no tools whatsoever. There's a few things to buy, and this metal, you can use anything, a piece of aluminum, you can use a piece of wood, anything that you have available to you, you can use to make it happen. And again, I'm not making a whole lot of money from this, and what I am, it's going straight into Amazon and to purchase things for the channel, so I'm trying to do this as cheap as I can, and it also gives me some time to experiment and figure out how do I want to do this. So that's going to be a build log coming up. I'm very excited about that. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Okay, moving right along to the Monoprice Select Mini, which is there. It's down there. It's printing like a champ. I have a couple prints here to show you. My unboxing just hit the other day, so thanks everyone who watched that and did all the commenting. I have the Zombie Slayer Bounty Hunter guy, which that is really hard to see in my little tablet here. I did a MOA head, which he came out really nice. I had some real high-res photos of this on my YouTube page, and I'll just throw a couple up here as I'm talking. The initial cat that comes with the print, or comes with the printer, it's one of the G-code files that is on the SD card when you get it. Turned out well for not being my own. This was my own calibration. I went ahead and printed one of these fun little jack stands, you know, scissor stands, and it was extremely hard to initially part this, and I'm guessing it was my settings. There are what's called magic numbers for the Monoprice Select Mini, which I didn't know about at the time. I have enough something to show you about that here in a minute. But I did finally get it undone. It took me about a half an hour, and you can hear a little squeak in the gears. But other than that, it turned out okay. I mean, I can't really complain. It's strong. It does what it's supposed to. A little bit of layer pimpling, we'll call it, that I'm not too thrilled about that happened here. I'm working on better retraction settings for the printer. It's still a work in progress, but I'm getting there. But this, you know, turned out was a fun print. I can't laugh at it. This was Inland's PLA. No, I'm sorry. This was Proto Paradigm's yellow PLA. This was Inland's yellow PLA, and this is Proto Paradigm's one of their blues. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But links for all the different filaments down below. If you guys want to check them out, please do. They're some of my favorites, so I use them all the time. More prints with the Monoprice Select Mini. I have here the magic numbers, and this is a dual color print with one extruder. A lot of people ask how to do this, and I'm probably going to do a video. There's a few out there how to do it. I think I'm just going to do one that's really to the point and short and sweet, okay, because all my videos are short and sweet. But just how to do this, it's very, very easy to do, but I wanted to see myself. I didn't really do much of it, so I went through the process myself, figured it out. It's very easy. It turned out fantastic, very clean. You just, it won't work on every print, but the way the default settings in Simplify 3D are for the Select Mini is just fantastic. So you can do this very, very easily, and I'll run you through how to do that. It's called multi-process, dual color or multicolor, multi-process printing with a single extruder with Simplify 3D. So it's going to be a great thing that I have going, and I'm going to do that. More on the Simplify 3D thing. A lot of people have asked me to do kind of like what I think I'm going to call it just Understanding Simplify 3D video series. Trying to do videos, hopefully keep them under 5 minutes each, on just different parts of Simplify 3D, just one part in particular. So one would be how to do dual color for one print, or multicolor for one print, how to do layer changes, things like that. Understanding the settings that go into that. Other settings to be, how does your infill extrusion multiplier affect a print? How does the first layer height and layer width affect your first layer? Looking at different percentages after they print and seeing exactly what it means. So if you take the percentage lower, what happens? If you take it higher, what happens? There is no real help guide in Simplify 3D. Like, it'd be really nice if you could just hover over it and it would tell you, like, hey, if you lower it, this happens. If you raise it, this happens. But there's none of that. So there is a learning curve to Simplify 3D. I am by no means an expert. I am self-taught on all of it, and I just want to share the things that I've learned over the past 8 months of using it, and I only use that. I've tried Cura a few times. It's horrible, and to all you that use it, there's something wrong with you. But I like Simplify 3D so much better. But anyways, that's going to be a little mini series that I'm probably going to end up doing, or a long series. I'll just do one installment every now and then when I get the time to do the video capture and whatnot for that. Yay. Lastly, for the Select Mini, you saw in there some yellow parts on there. I'm doing all of the upgrades on the Select Mini in yellow, and it was going to be Inland's yellow, but I'm now running low on it, so I'm not sure that's going to happen. But a few things I'm doing. So a couple of the upgrades that I plan on doing is this is the X-axis stabilizer mount for the right side of the MP Mini. A 6mm rod gets sandwiched in here, and then I have two different mounts here that mount to the end of the X-axis rods that go across, and this one is for 2 bearings, this one is for 1 bearing. They're like the 6L UUs. I can't remember the name, sorry. I probably should have wrote down before I started the video. But anyways, these get strapped to there. Zip ties hold those in. The rod goes in there, and it helps to ensure that the X is always parallel to the build surface, because that is paramount to ensure that you have a nice flat level when you're printing. You don't want to have sag on the far end. It's not a huge issue, but hey, it's a very, very easy and cheap upgrade. It's going to cost me like $10, so why not do it and try and make the printer as best as I can for really, really cheap. Like, it's not going to cost much money. A few other things I have here to upgrade. This here is a X-axis stabilizer for the belt. The belt can twist on the pulley system that's in there, so you add this beside it and actually make sure to keep it straight. Your belt staying nice and straight, and you don't have to worry about any artifacting on your X-axis. I have these little stabilizer mounts, so these go on the Z-axis rods to, number one, quiet them down, and number two, help eliminate a little bit of the Z-banding that happens. And these are very, very small, very, very easy to print, and I'll be installing those. And here we have a E3D V6 mount, which this one is really, really cool because you can have a quick disconnect on this fan here, a part cooling fan, and pop it right off if you're going to do ABS or any other type of filament that does not require a cooling fan, or it would be detrimental to have a cooling fan on there. So that is really neat. And yes, this is a clone. I will be installing a clone on it, not this one because this is not a Bowden clone. I have to pick one up. But they cost like $5. And I honestly can't afford another E3D V6. If someone wants to mail me one, hey, great. If somebody wants to donate more via Patreon or Amazon to do that, great. But until that day, I have to go with what I can afford for the channel. And that is going to be something like these. But I did find on AliExpress full metal throats, which is really the only thing that's different between a clone and the E3D. I know the milling is different and it's more higher quality. I understand all that, but you know what? Money's money, and I don't have it for it. So I picked up those. I think it was like 10 for $10. They were pretty cheap. They don't have PTFE tubing in them. They are all metal, and that is great, so I don't have to worry about melting that PTFE tubing when doing higher temp prints. I'm going to put that to the test with higher temp prints. I do have some high temp filament that I got in a maker box previously. I think I still have it, and that'll be a good test to see if it can actually print it properly or not. But this is a great little mount. You print cooling, your heatsink cooling fan here, print cooling fan here, both 30 millimeters. I'm going to look for some nice quiet ones because the printer's quiet as it is, but that'll make it even better. Last two things to cover. So right now I am at 802 subscribers. Whoa! So it's like 200 subscribers in 100 in what week and or yeah 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. That's pretty great. Keep it up. At 1,000, I'm going to give something away that I have here on the shelf. I haven't used it yet. I was going to use it for another project, but I'm not going to, and I'm not going to reveal it until 900 subscribers what the prize actually is. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do it now. You have to be that to be eligible, and I'm going to run it through Gleam. And 1,000 also is the big milestone for me, because a ton of companies have said, hey, you're doing great, but we need to be sure that you're legit, and you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers for us to start sending you stuff. Even if they send me something and I have to send it back, I need to get to that 1,000 mark to kind of show that I really want to do this. Like, I want to be a serious YouTuber in my spare time, because this is not my full-time job. So all your subscriptions really help me, so please hit that sub button, and it goes a long way. I appreciate all your support. The other thing I just want to say is that I just passed 42,000 views of my videos. Several of my videos have just reached the 10,000 plus views, which is great. So I'm kind of learning what people want to see more of, and it really seems to be the how I actually do stuff. Although you guys really eat up these vlogs, I don't know why, but you do. How to do stuff type videos, my how-tos, those are big. So I'm going to continue to do those and supply good content for you guys to enjoy. So that's it for this vlog, guys. I'm going to change up the naming convention again on the title of this. Please let me know what you guys think about it. I really want to hear back from you guys, and the comments have been great so far. Please keep it up via Facebook. I get comments on Instagram. I get messaging in YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. Please keep up. Do what you're doing. And this is going really good, so I'm enjoying it. If you guys liked this video, please give it a like. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. Let me know down below why you didn't. There's multiple ways now that you can help support my channel. First one right here, subscribe. All those views really help me. The subscriptions help me, help move the channel along. Up here there's Patreon. Donate $1 more. I appreciate it. Current Patreons, thank you guys for your support. There is a ton of affiliate links down below. There's the MakerBox code, Amazon, eBay, Maker Geeks, probably something else down there I'm forgetting. But hey, all that's down there. Update your bookmarks. Use those. Use the affiliate links that I use for the products down below. Purchase with those. That really helps the channel. Again, I don't take a dime of this money for myself, guys. Not a dime. It all goes right back in here to building content, buying filament, helping buy better gear so I can provide better content, parts for the printers, all of that. None of this is for me at all. This is all for building the YouTube channel and providing you guys content. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that it was long, but if you're here to this point, you know what? Happy printing.